the culture of cruelty that has been allowed to develop and run rampant through the medical system over the last century when it comes to sickle cell, especially sickle cell, is real. It's very real. And the scary part about it is that it's institutionalized. And so even the most, positive of nurses, doctors, people who really came into this field to save people, even they have been indoctrinated into this ideology that when it comes to adult sickle cell patients, that we are less than, and that we are the ones that they have to look out for because we're manipulative, we're conniving, we're liars, we're drug seekers, we're addicts, and I can keep going down the list. And the fact of the matter is that they're so busy making up all of this mess about us that they've not taken the time to really study us as a patient group, to look at us as individuals within said patient group. Because if they did, then they would understand the culture of the sickle cell patient and our caregivers. And a lot of the mess that we go through could just not be. If they looked at sickle cell culture, they would find a group of people incredibly strong, incredibly resilient, show very little emotion, incredibly stoic, very bright, very smart, because you can't grow up in a hospital and be stupid. You can't grow up around nurses and not be a problem solver. It doesn't work that way. And they will also find a group of people who are not afraid to fight for what they need, that are not afraid to take their health care and their care plans into their own hands and say, no, doctor, what you're talking about is wrong. What you're trying to do, that's not going to work. Let me help you. There are very few patients on the planet, let alone full-on patient groups, that will step up and tell a doctor or a nurse or a phlebotomist that what they're doing, what they're saying, how they're doing something, but that they're wrong. And it's seen as us being ungrateful, rude, not wanting the care that we claim that we need, when in actuality, we're teaching, we're educating, and 9 times out of 10, we're really doing our best to prevent disaster. We're doing our best to manage not only our expectations, but to manage the attitudes and the actions of the people who we have to entrust with our lives, our bodies, our health by law. The very people that, for whatever reason, when it comes to sickle cell, all the rules are out the window. HIPAA what? Patient rights who? Medical ethics why? No, that don't exist. And it always boils down to, it's our fault. And this is the thing about it. Very little about this disease is the fault of the patient. It's the fault of the carrier. Very little. I mean, this is a molecular illness. We are literally walking specimens of modern evolution. We deal with stuff that no one could even imagine. I don't know any other people walking around with poisonous heme molecules just running through their veins and their organs, but still doing their best to live the best life that they can. Yeah, we're doing all of that. And yet and still, instead of seeing us as being accomplished, regardless of the fact we spend a third of our lives in a medical setting, seeing us as being brilliant and self-taught, and actually understanding more so than our medical teams what's going on, rather than looking at those things as positive things, as right, positive aspects of sickle cell, we are basically vilified, and all of our knowledge, all of our medical expertise, our experience, our expectations, and our being experts on sickle cell in our individual bodies is then weaponized against us. But we're wrong. And people always want to talk about our responsibility. We've been taking responsibility for the shenanigans and the crazy that this illness has brought not only into our lives, but the lives of our friends, our families, our everything. For our entire life, we have been taking responsibility for things that are not our fault, including the failure of our doctors and nurses to properly educate themselves, hold themselves accountable, and do their jobs properly when it comes to our patient group. Yeah, rest on that.